And we are live. Hi, everybody. This is Christina Delgado. I'm on the call with Kim Carter. She's ready to rock. But I wanted to kind of give you a few updates from what happened this past week in San Diego. Look, you can tell I'm dressed up in my Autumn Calabrese new clothing line. It's super cute. I bought everything. I know Kim bought everything. Like we all went bankrupt in the store, but it was awesome. Leadership was awesome. I'm not gonna go into too much detail because Kim's gonna cover her experience as a first-time leadership attendee. But we had a blast. It was such a great bonding experience, not only with our team and the girls that were there, but also with the rest of the network and all the leadership that was there, as well as corporate. It really was probably in the last 4 years that I've been attending leadership, the best one. It got real, it got raw. People were really sharing the emotional side of the business. I did post already for you guys the leadership playlist. One of the elite coaches, Kendra Fletcher, recorded all of the training segments from leadership. I posted it so you guys can watch them. The highlights for me were Becky's panel, of course, the Facing Your Fears panel, Brigida Linford's panel, and then I was part of the spouse panel, which got really good feedback as well. So if you have a spouse that's kind of on the fence with you being a Beachbody coach, why don't you watch that with them so you can see how Danny and I, as well as the Fowlers and the McAllisters, kind of handle running this business and how much fun it could be when you do it together. But let me just quickly cover some of the amazing product announcements from leadership. I'm sure you already know this, but Cafe Latte Shakeology is coming out in the first quarter of 2016. That was a huge shock. I don't know about you, Kim. I did not see that coming. I knew that there had to be a new flavor soon, but I was kind of thinking summit time for 2016. So when they were like, hey, and by the way, boom, we were like, what just happened there? And then they're like, and you can go taste it right outside. It was a total shock. So basically the formulation of this Shakeology is the same as chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and greenberry. The addition is the whole coffee fruit. And I just looked this up, and the whole coffee fruit is some cherry thingy that wraps around the coffee bean. See, that's my scientific version. I'm not Darren O'Lean or Isabel Deichler, but it is a superfood. So that in addition to all the superfood ingredients in the base formulation of Shakeology, the Cafe Latte flavor has this whole coffee fruit superfood ingredient added to it. If you ask me what it tastes like, it's a rich coffee flavor. I didn't feel like it had any aftertaste, and I drank about 7 of the samples. I was like, rah, 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 rah. I was just drink. I really liked it. I think it'll definitely go into my rotation. Of course, everybody should drink it as soon as it comes out. But surprisingly, I was shocked. I had no idea that was on the horizon, and I usually can get, some insider information. And this was a true shock to me. And I hope you guys are as excited for the new addition to the Shakeology family, Cafe Latte, like I am. For all our coffee drinkers, we can unite now and toast with our beautiful Shakeologies. Of course, probably wine-flavored Shakeology is in the horizon. No, I'm just kidding. But the second thing that was announced, and see, I knew there was a Tony Horton program coming, but the program in and of itself, I thought it was going to be completely different. Tony Horton is bringing us in March 22-minute hardcore. It is a rough and tough military basic training type program, 22 minutes, 8 weeks long. It looks incredible. I was telling Danny that it looks like you have to do it outside to be able to experience like the whole program, because you're like rolling on the floor and doing all these cool things. I will tell you that all the military guys from our team and those at leadership were very excited about this program. Tony's very involved in the military, so it's a program that's probably near and dear to his heart. So that is coming out in March of 2016. So we're getting some time in between the Hammer and Chisel launch and that launch, which is really good. Next, of course, is Hammer and Chisel. So you guys are probably wondering where the hell Becky and Monica are. Well, they are in Los Angeles representing the Hammer and Chisel brand. I can't necessarily tell you what they're doing, but you could probably read between the lines as to what they're doing in Los Angeles. I mean, I hope you're as proud of them as I am. They look better now than they did when they finished the program. I don't know what they're feeding them, but they look awesome. And that program is going to debut in early December of 2015. So in just over 2 months, we're going to have, or no, month and a half, we're going to have the Masters Hammer and Chisel. There will be 3 packages available. First and foremost, the Challenge Pack will be available for $160. That's going to be the sale price in December. The basic price for the Challenge Pack will be $180 thereafter. Then we have 2 packages, the basic package and as well as the ultimate package. I don't recall the pricing on that. I think I posted a picture of it. I'm not sure. But I know the ultimate package is going to actually come with a medicine ball as well as a few additional workout videos. So if you're in Super Saturday, Sunday in Miami, you will be testing the Masters Hammer and Chisel. We did have record number registrations today, so I'm super proud of that. If you haven't registered, please, please, please do so today. I know Kim will be hosting in Knoxville, Tennessee with Jennifer Greenberg. It's going to be a huge event as well. You guys, if you want to invest in your business and you're not going to, leadership, you're not going on the cruise, I mean, the least you can do is get out and go to a Super Saturday. 5 years ago, I walked into a Super Saturday, didn't know anyone, didn't know anything. I went because Becky wanted me to go with her, and my life changed. That was the day I said, I can do that too. I had my aha moment, and I have never looked back since. Get to Super Saturday. It is critical that you see and feel and hear the people that are in your community that are Beachbody coaches, that you see, feel, and hear the success, not only from the physical side, but from the financial side, because it will change you. And of course, take someone with you so they can feel that too. So there's a few other things that they talked about at leadership. Kim might address them, but I wanted to touch on it because, we see the posts in the Diesel Nation page and the Diamonds page about the technology issues. Let me tell you guys that they hit this on the head. They just went straight for it right at the beginning with Carl Deichler at the Elite Mastermind in Leadership. They're not backing away from the tech issues that the company is having. They're working on them. They assured us they are working on them. They are pumping millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars into not only training customer service and coach relations, but upgrading our computer system, our whole IT system. You will be seeing, I'm really excited about this, a brand spanking new teambeachbody.com with very user-friendly ways of shopping. I mean, even Kim reminded me, which is so cool because I saw it. I actually saw it and used it when I went to Superstar Day, that when a customer purchases, let's say, the 21-day fix, right? The 21-day fix challenge pack, that not only will allow them to buy the 21-day fix challenge pack, but recommended products are going to pop up. Fixate, the Boost, some of the performance line, it's going to show recommended products. So our customers are going to able to see more of our product line. I mean, there's a whole, from the coaching sign up, from all these angles, the whole website is going to be beautiful. It really is really cool. So we're excited about that. We don't have a date for that yet, but we do know that the structure is already in place. It's just a matter of timing when we get to use it, start using it, and our customers start using it. A little update on the My Challenge Tracker, which is the iPhone and Android app to run challenge groups from your phone. They are making edits to it, substantial edits to it, based on the Elite test group. We got to use it, and we were able to submit our input on what needed to be fixed before it launched to the entire network. They're working on that, so they've actually pushed back the launch date for the My Challenge Tracker. I agree with this pushback because it has to be perfect because our customers are going to be on it, right? There's actually going to be hopefully even ways to run coach trainings from it, which is super cool. So that's what is on the horizon for us. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. one note, it's October, what day is it? 13th. I don't even know. I'm still in California time. I couldn't wake up this morning, but it's October 13th. You have still more than half of the month to hit Success Club. Now's the time to look at yourself and say, am I going to do this? Am I going to put forth the effort? Am I going to set aside all the excuses that I'm going to hear, because you're going to hear them? And boy, even today, I've heard probably like 5 of them myself. I don't care. I will find people that are ready to commit right now to the 21-day fix or 21-day fix extreme that is on sale, and I will help them lead healthy and fulfilling lives. All those other people that tell me no, they'll come back around in January. But right now, I am hitting the ground running because we have work to do. We have people to help, and I hope you're with me. Dig into your follow-ups, dig into your contact list, start messaging people right now. Build a challenge group that starts on October 26th. Do not back down until you hit Success Club 5. In fact, push it to Success Club 10. Are you with me? Yes, I hope so. Kim, are you with me?
Most definitely.
All right, let's turn it over to Kim. Kim is a 6-star diamond in her first business center. I'm going to do this from memory because I can do that. 6-star diamond in her first business center, 1-star diamond in her second business center. She is currently elite qualified for 2015. Whoop, whoop. She is one of 4 coaches in our entire team that is elite qualified. She is a Success Club 5 All-Star legend. She's a Success Club 10 All-Star. She retired from her vet practice a year and a half ago. She sold that and said, I'm doing Beachbody full-time. Her next big goal is to retire her hubby from his line of work, which is super cool. And they are currently expecting their first baby in like what? 2 months? A month and a half?
2 months.
Yeah. 2 months. So I'm going to turn it over to the superstar of the call, Kim Carter, and she's going to talk to us about her leadership experience.
Well, thank you very much, Christina. I don't know about superstar. I think you're the superstar here still. But just, I'm really nervous, so I do have my notes in front of me. In case I'm looking down, that's why. And we'll get through this. But just thank you so much for even having me on the call. It's really an honor. It was an honor to be there at Leadership with you guys, and it was just, I mean, it's going to be hard to even put into words how amazing of an experience it was, because it was one of those life-changing trips. And so I'm just kind of going to give you my thoughts on everything. And I guess for starters, events that I've attended in the past, just to kind of give a little bit of a comparison. I've been to 2 summits. So I went to Summit 2014 in Vegas, and then this past summer in Nashville. And then I went on the Cancun Success Club trip this past April. And all of those trips were amazing. And I remember thinking back to my first summit thinking, wow, you know, that was so life-changing. And it truly was at that point. And then I got to this leadership, and this trip was truly life-changing, even more so than Summit was. Summits are so big and so busy. And I feel like, you know, while we get a lot of really, really great content and great trainings, we don't have a lot of time to really bond with each other and really get to know each other on a much, you know, more personal level. And it's kind of the same thing with Cancun. I mean, it's more family oriented, but it was still a lot of people. And the difference with this trip was that it was so small. It was what, 300 people or so there. Top leaders, everybody was so relaxed and just laid back, truly excited to be there. Everybody was willing to just stand around and chit chat with you, you know, and just talk and share tips, whether they were on our team or not. And I felt like we just really got to know each other so much better. And for me, I mean, that was, I really think it was the most important part. Just, you know, hanging out with everybody, chatting by the pool and learning about, you know, everybody's history with coaching and just how they got into it. It was just really interesting. I've always, you know, viewed both Becky and Christina as mentors, which of course you guys are for me. But on this trip, like, I really felt like I got to know you guys personally, you know, more as like, we're all friends and we're all really family. And I think that's what our team is really about. And I know I've heard it said so many times, but to really experience it firsthand, for me, that was really, really cool. It's really different to go from, you know, just kind of knowing everybody on Facebook to actually knowing you guys in person. So, you know, if nothing else, get to leadership for that reason, you know, just to bond with everybody, because it's really cool. I felt really comfortable with everyone, and that's a huge step for me. I'm one of those people that I may seem like a go-getter, extrovert kind of person on the computer, but in real life, I'm not. I'm one of those people that will go to events and I will sit there and people watch and not get out of my own comfort zone and not talk to anybody. And so it was a little scary kind of coming into leadership for me, but everybody just made me so comfortable that, you know, it ended up being easy. So team culture, that was another thing that I just kind of wanted to touch on. And again, I know we hear it said all the time that Diesel Nation has such a great team culture and that we really need to uphold that culture. And it's true. I mean, I heard people, I mean, seriously, sitting around the hotel bar, you know, everybody just talking with each other. And I heard top coaches, like I'm talking top coaches from other teams, say things like, yeah, Diesel Nation, you know, you guys are so awesome. I wish I was part of Diesel Nation, you know, and it's true. And that's something that we should not ever take for granted. And because, you know, it really is a special culture that we have. We respect each other and we've got each other's backs. We support each other and we really are like a family. So that was just, again, really, really great to experience. And to hear that other people, you know, want the same things for their team too. One of the events, I guess, that really stood out to me was the team building event that we had. And again, I was scared to death going into this because I'm kind of the shy, introverted type. And I thought, oh my gosh, you know, they're going to put us on these teams of people that I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to all these other people that I don't know. It's just going to be scary and awful. It was so much fun. We were all out on the beach. They had all these great like obstacles and little challenges that we had to do. And they put us in teams of 10 and we were with people that we didn't know. And it ended up being so much fun, like ridiculously fun. And I got to be on a team with Shay Stanford, which was way cool for me. I love her. I send all of my coaches to her YouTube page for all of her Shakeology training and everything. And so here she comes, like walking on the team. I'm like, oh no, oh boy, I'm gonna talk to Shay Stanford, you know? And she was so sweet. She was so sweet. And it was a lot of fun. I got to know, you know, some other coaches from totally different areas at that team building event that I never would have met, you know, and we've actually become really good friends. We've been talking, you know, ever since the trip already. So it's really cool to be able to, again, just step out of your comfort zone and meet new people that you wouldn't meet otherwise and that you probably wouldn't meet at Summit because, you know, again, we're all so busy and we're concentrated on being with our teams at Summit that you don't really get to branch out a whole lot. So that was really fun. Shout out to a lot of our team members that won first and second place in that event. So second and third, first and third, first, second, and third, Christina's saying. Okay, I didn't realize that. Goodness. So we did awesome. Let's see here. The next thing that really stood out to me, I guess all of the coaches that got up and spoke at different sessions, one thing that they all really emphasized, and I don't know if, I guess corporate probably set it up this way for a reason, but everybody really talked about their struggles and weaknesses that they've had, whether it's been this year or whether it was way back before they started coaching or anywhere along their coaching journey. But all of these top leaders were getting up and talking about struggles that they had, things that they would perceive as failures, self-doubt, fears that they, you know, would let take over them. And the recurring theme was, you know, how they would overcome that. And of course, it's personal development. And that was just really emphasized a lot. And it just made me realize, you know, I've kind of started digging into personal development again pretty hard in the last month or so. And it's something that everybody really truly needs to do because we all struggle with it. And it was really good for me to hear from all these top coaches that, they struggle too. They may have a great year and then they may have, a few months that really are hard, for whatever reason, many, many different reasons. And I think we can all relate to that. And I think we all need to just remember that we are not alone in our struggles. Reach out to somebody if you need to talk about it. And, your coach or their coach or whoever it is, your success partner. And then really get into personal development and develop whatever area it is that you need help with. And that's different for everybody. So I think that was just a really, really good point that corporate talked about. And again, all these top leaders talked about when they were giving their presentations on stage. And they would all refocus on their why. Maybe they'd adjust it or edit it a little bit or change things because, our whys are always changing. And then they'd hit it hard with personal development and, pull themselves out of that slump that they were in. And it's certainly not a time to just give in and quit because you're having a hard month or two, which a lot of people have this time of year. So again, just, dig in and push through it. And then the last point I kind of wanted to touch on that really stood out to me was something that I think it was Jeff Hill that talked about it. It was either Jeff or Carl, I can't remember, but talking about being perfect and that we don't need to be perfect. We need to be perfectly imperfect. And because a lot of people won't or don't want to follow somebody that I guess is perceived as being perfect because it's very unrealistic. And a lot of people see that as unattainable. And we need to just be perfectly imperfect with ourselves because none of us are perfect. I mean, that's just a given. And also not to wait until you see yourself as being perfect in an area to get started. For example, don't wait until you think you have the perfect results, transformation photo that you want to start sharing your journey. Take people on that journey with you. If you wait until you think you're perfect, you're never going to start. Same thing with coaching. I have a lot of people that'll tell me, well, I don't feel like I know enough, or I don't feel like, I'm in good enough shape yet to get started on this coaching journey. If you keep thinking like that, you're never going to get started. So just go ahead and jump in. You'll learn the material as you go. That's what all of your upline coaches are there for. That's what we have trainings for. And take people on your journey with you. And I think that is a lot more inspiring for a lot of people because they want to jump in and follow you on your journey versus saying, oh, well, she already, looks like a Barbie doll, or I don't know, whatever example you want to use, and there's no way I can ever get to that. So just jump in and go for it. Don't worry about being perfect all the time. So those were kind of my main takeaways from leadership. And I hope that's what you wanted me to touch on.
Of course, that was awesome. I think if I were the guest speaker on a call, you hit everything that I would have talked about. So thank you, Kim. That was awesome. I think I should have started though with, how do you get to leadership? Because I think we have probably so many new coaches. So let me backtrack just a little bit to explain leadership because I swear to God, right? You just snap your fingers and it's like the next event is like right there. Mm-hmm. So if this event is a goal for you, if you're sitting on this call and say, well, I want to be in that small environment and I want to be, in San Diego, because it will be in San Diego next year. I want to do that team building event, which by the way, amazing. I agree with Kim. That was one of the highlights for me. Having experienced other team building exercises at leadership, this was by far the best one. And I'll give a shout out to Mindy Horde, was on the winning team. She got a surfboard, the Beachbody surfboard, and then Monica Lopez and Amy Coppola, and I'm probably gonna miss some people, were on the second place team. And then the third place team was like all Diesel Nation. So it was like me, Becky, Danny, Johan, Larry, there was a bunch of us. So we like swept. Diesel Nation swept the the team building exercise, of course, right? Like, you know, there's no question in my mind that we would do that. But in order to get to leadership this year, we don't know what the qualifications are going to be next year. You had to be a 5-star diamond coach between a paid 5-star diamond coach between the first of the year and then sometime in July, I believe. You had to hold that rank, as well as achieve elite points in order to get that. And then it was tiered whether they paid for your hotel or not, depending on those elite points. So if this is a goal for you, then this is the time now to start thinking about that, to start planning your explosive growth in 2016 to achieve five-star diamond or above, as well as start developing leadership in your downline in order to get those elite points, because leadership really is a big deal. You know, last year when I went to leadership, and a lot of people were talking about this, we left a little bit like overwhelmed with the business. Like, oh my God, there's just so much to do. I don't have enough time to do it all. You started comparing yourself to other people. That game got ugly because, you know, everybody started questioning their leadership. But this one, because everybody was so real with the struggles that they've endured. I mean, just Becky, if you saw her talk about, you know, me and her and the struggle of being sisters in this business, and Anita Myron battling depression, not having to do with the business, just she has a mental illness of clinical depression and having to deal with that while building a 15-star diamond top 10 team. And Amy Silverman, who is a #2 in the company, who played the comparison game for a long time and realized that when she just did Amy, and you know Amy, she's tattooed, she's a free spirit. I mean, she travels everywhere. She's now living in Puerto Rico. That when she became Amy again and not somebody else, her business just took off. So if you were to ask me, like, what were my highlights? What did I take away from this leadership? Was that comparison can be bad in this business at all levels. It could be from a coach that just signed up, and then you see someone that just signed up 2 gold to emeralds, and you're like, well, how did she do that? And I can't do that. You need to remember that this is your journey and not anybody else's. You run your own race. You determine the pace you set. You determine how you want to hit your goals. You determine when you want to hit your goals. So don't compare yourself to anyone. We have coaches rank advancing all the time, and then you see all these other coaches in the network rank advancing all the time. You have to take a look in the mirror and say, okay, am I doing the work to rank advance? And if I'm not, how can I fix that so that I can? And just do it at your pace, at your speed. And remember, if it's broken, you have to fix it. So that was like another big topic for me, was this whole concept of reinventing yourself. And again, this is not just for 5-star leaders and above. This is for everybody. That concept of reinvention was really interesting to me because I think it applies to everyone, where, you know, you start off as a coach and you might not see success, right? You might not see success right away, yet you keep doing the same thing over and over again. You keep posting that same picture. You keep saying the same thing. You're not really changing. You're not really fixing. You're not really learning on how to be successful. And then you convince yourself you're a failure, and then you never move forward. But if you stop and think and say, okay, that coach is hitting success up, I'm not. Let me see what she's doing, and not compare myself in a negative way. Just say, how can I model her behavior? Am I really engaged in the 3 vital behaviors, or am I not? Am I really setting goals? Am I really pushing myself? Like Kim said, am I really investing in personal development? When you start answering those questions truthfully and honestly, you start realizing where you can adjust your business to finally move forward. So it's already 9:30, and you know, I like to keep things short. I'm actually starting the Ultimate Reset tomorrow with a few Diesel Nation coaches. Please pray for us and wish us luck. It's, you know, that thing's a monster, but we're gonna get through it. You guys are gonna get through October. We're gonna hit Success Club. Let's set record numbers of coaches hitting Success Club. And the light bulb just went boop. I forgot something. October 19th. Everybody, write this down. I'm taking notes. October 19th, registration will open for the Fall Classic. If you're a new coach, the Fall Classic is a 2-person competition. So it's like a team cup, but with only 2 people. And only one of them can be a diamond coach. You don't need a diamond coach, but if you are going to have a diamond coach, you can only have 1 per team. And it will be for the month of November as to how many Success Club points you can earn. Of course, winning team and the entire network gets flown out to headquarters in Los Angeles. It's super fun. But of course, you can win super cool prizes. So the time is now. It's October 13th. Let's start planning for the Fall Classic. Make sure that you grab 1 coach. It could be in your downline. It could be in Diesel Nation. It could be whoever. I don't care. But team up and let's smash some goals leading into November. And in November, let's take the Team Cup by storm. So I hope you guys are in. I'm in. I'm super fired up right now. I don't know if you guys realize that. I am really fired up at what's coming with Hammer and Chisel, new Shakeology flavor, 22 hardcore. There's going to be a new program announced at Summit. They said top secret at Leadership. That always gets me all giddy with excitement. I hope you guys are too. Let's do this, guys. It is now or never. Now's the time to start planting those seeds for an explosive 2016. Dig into your personal development. You're going to need it this time of year. All right, Kim, thank you. I love you. You did an amazing job. Blow up Kim's page on Facebook, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night.